oh, these people are hating on me. They are making fun of me. But you know what? They are just meanies. Big old meanies. So Joe is back with like a crazy hair situation, but we will talk about idubbbz hair now and his new video, of course. So let's go. So let's talk about the hair situation over here. So he's rocking kind of like a grown out thing where basically this is not a real haircut. You can actually see that his hair is resting on top of his ear or something. It looks absolutely crazy. I mean, usually if you get a haircut, you have the sides of your head, like it's shorter over here, so the hair doesn't lap over your ear. He just shaved his head and let it grow since then. And then also this situation is also it looks just so atrocious. Like he looks so much better with shorter hair. And also even when he had the long flowing hair, when he had the empathy hair, the empathy hair is hilarious. This guy, I actually think, which is like an unpopular opinion, I think this look was actually pretty good. I think it was just because he got so many weird, terrible, like colored tattoos. I mean, black and white looks so much better. And because of these tattoos, I think people said that this look was weird, but I think this haircut is actually a lot better than what he's rocking right now. Also, when he's pretty much like, he has like a buzz cut, that's also a lot better, but he's currently just looking like an unemployed, messy, like a hoarder or something. Like he looks absolutely crazy. And let's see if this video will change our opinion.
Today, I'm going to be doing the thing that everyone tells you not to do, and that is feed the trolls. One of the more important things that I want to talk about is my relationship with Anissa. I love Anissa. I love everything about her. I've only grown to love her more with time, and a lot of people online don't see it that way. For me, it's very obvious. I thought more people would be able to catch on. I am quiet, stoic, not talkative. She is the opposite of that. She is loud, very talkative, social. Anissa will oftentimes, like in many relationships, be the more talkative one. We've been together for nearly 10 years, and all of it has been online for the public to see, and there are still people accusing her of cheating,
Why does he look so crazy? I don't know. He looks so extremely unmasculine. I'm not even saying he looks feminine. He just looks like, I don't know, androgynous or something. This is probably like one of his worst looks we have ever seen yet, especially with this hair here. This is so crazy. I don't know what he's doing.
And there are still people accusing her of cheating, accusing me of being in an abusive relationship. None of this is true. And there is no evidence for any of this except, like, I guess body language experts coming on and being like, idubbbz is being stoic here, therefore he's in hell.
He looks so uncomfortable. Look at this guy's body language. He doesn't want to be there.
Look how miserable he looks. Dude, he looks miserable. Dude, he looks like he wants to kill himself.
Bro, the Sensitive Society shoutout is hilarious. Finally, some Mexican representation, you know? I've been watching the Sensitive Society for a while, just if he has like a topic that I'm interested in. He does a lot of like bullshit stuff. It's just like, I watch like one video from time to time, but he's like a funny, pretty young Mexican dude. Yeah, it's nice that he made it into this video. I know he will make probably like 5 videos on this. This will be hilarious.
I mean, I kind of want to kill myself now. Okay, so they're not a fan.
Whoa, buddy.
Keep a big J at that clip point, buddy.
And even when I smile, you guys still like contort it into he's so uncomfortable or he's smiling through the pain.
He's smiling on his face.
What?
But inside his eyes, you can see his pain.
For some reason, well, not for some reason, for the reason of sexism and people's view on OnlyFans.
Anissa was horny and wanted to have sex with this therapist while Anissa figured herself to it.
Yep. Do you think that makes her pussy wet?
Buddy, was she getting
stop?
plowed? And here we have idubbbz with the bull, folks. There's idubbbz with the bull.
He's using sexualized terms to describe a picture of me and my dog. So many people will tell Anissa and I, don't feed into the hate. Okay, we're gonna post some normal stuff. Anissa posts just me with a picture of my dog, and this is the type of commentary we get about it.
This is just so sad. I mean, they can even post A damn dog photo. That's crazy. That is crazy. I think something that idubbbz needs to understand is that it doesn't matter what he posts. People will just find something funny about it because they see him as like this guy who threw away his career, made like a total switch on his audience, but also like he did it in like the worst way possible by just like being so snarky in the back and just co-signing everything that his wife does. And I think that's the problem that people have with him. And as long as that's the case, as long as he doesn't really show himself as like his own person that isn't controlled by his wife, as long as that's the case, it doesn't matter what he posts. People will find something funny about it. It's just your attitude. It's not about like the actual content that you post, even though, I mean, the recent videos have been horrible, but anyways.
For some reason, this stupid fucking loser and his dumb as rocks wife decided to go on the H3 podcast. They already spilled their guts. They were getting paid like $5,000 to go on this podcast.
I'm going to be sending you guys $5,000 for the bonus that you never got.
I think they were maybe afraid that they wouldn't get the money if they didn't thoroughly trash us.
That's such a big assumption to say that they only came on to get the money. How do you know that? Just Ethan announced that he will give them the money in the middle of the show. That was like a pre-planned thing. And even if you think that's the case, is he just saying they lying? I mean, that's like cool, bro.
So them maybe thinking that they weren't trashing us hard enough, Michael Briggs decided to invoke the name of one of his presumably friends and say that Anissa was like thirsting after him.
She definitely had a big crush on one of the guys that would come in and spar with them, because anytime they would spar, she would just be super into it and watch every moment. Even if he would like beat Ian up, she'd be very into it.
If you have some unresolved sexual tension or fantasies, whatever the fuck it is, you need to keep that shit to yourself.
He's basically like, no, you, bro. This is, I don't know, that's pretty weak.
I wish the best to Gabe. Michael Briggs, on the other hand, absolute fucking creep weirdo.
I think he hired this guy like multiple times to be his boxing coach. I mean, for Michael, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he was trying to get his brand out there. He was trying to get paid. But if he's like such a weirdo, why do you hire multiple times? That doesn't really make sense. I mean, Ian has the leverage. He could get any boxing coach in the whole world, basically. Like any boxing coach who's like not being like paid very well.
I would prefer if people didn't talk about me and my wife or other people in this way.
Bro, what is going on? Anissa legitimately convinced him his entire being as a person is bad.
So I'm currently watching this whole lolco section, which is like him just blabbering on about like commentary people who just, yeah, of course they do like exaggerations of your situation, and they are mean and like, whoa, you guys are just mean. That's basically what Ian's saying. So like who cares, bro? Can you just be more of a loser? Like, I don't know, of course people are mean online. Commentary people especially. Like, what a dunk to say, oh, these people are hating on me, they are making fun of me. But you know what? They are just meanies. Big ol' meanies.
I feel very free to speak my truth.
Do you want to know why this shit makes me so mad? Because there was a point in time back in OnlyFans season 1 where I was like, dude, idubbbz is the fucking man. Such a chill guy. So down to earth. Loved meeting him in real life. Loved playing games with him. This guy was the fucking man.
I think Tectone is remembering this in a kind of a weird way. It seems like he's very nostalgic and happy about it.
Yeah, true. I mean, in fact, Ian is correcting Tectone and saying that he was actually never a cool guy. He was never chill. He was actually always like a pathetic loser. That's basically what he's trying to say right here.
By this time, everyone had like decided that Anissa controls my life and that I'm a beta male soy cuckboy.
Like, to see what one woman's pussy and Hassan can do to a motherfucker is insane to me.
I would love to hear his statement about Hassan, because he's like an absolute Hassan dicksuck, and we will find out about it.
This is such fucking cope, man. Like, hearing Tectone say it, it's just like, it's reminding me how many times I've heard this fucking script. These people cannot fathom that the based epic N-word guy has changed his mind over time. It's got to be a woman's pussy or Hassan. I think if they accept that I came to that decision on my own, they have to reckon with some demons of their own.
So I think one thing he's absolutely missing is that there's always this comparison that Ethan Klein, of course, is he also has changed a lot, because he was like on this like anti-SJW warrior trend for a while, and then he switched up and he became like very left, or at least made it his openly stated opinion. But he never ceased to have this like comedic bone and this like kind of edginess. At some point it was a bit cringe that he was just making fun at like one direction only, and the other one, like, he was never making fun of lefties for a while. But now he's kind of back at it. Like, basically everybody that pisses him off or he thinks is funny, he's making fun about it. And I think that's kind of what people would respect more about Ian as well, if he was still like a guy who was still funny and edgy, just with like a political switch. I think, of course, there's always like an audience rejection if you change your political opinions or state them otherwise. But if you still keep like some of your charisma or some of your characteristics that people like about you, you will in the long term still like stay on top and not like get rejected from the whole internet as idubbbz is currently being. There are some strong Ethan Klein supporters, especially in the commentary community, which is funny, right? Because idubbbz is getting only shit from them. So why is that, right? And I think it's because Ethan Klein has kept some of his edginess and some of course, in his humor as well. I mean, idubbbz is just a charisma black hole now, and I think people are just asking, why is this guy even online? I mean, like, there's nothing redeeming about him, nothing we want to see about him, nothing that we ever liked about him is here anymore. So why even, like, this guy, he could just get a 9 to 5 now and just, because, like, I mean, who wants to watch this? It's just, I mean, me watching this right now, I'm just also making fun of it, because otherwise it's just, I mean, it's pointless to watch. It's just annoying, just somebody whining about people being mean to him online. I mean, people just don't want to hear like a loser talk for the whole time. It is what it is.
I don't know if this is your own theory or if it's just like implanted in your brain from all the other hate videos, but Aneesa is not the first person or not the first woman I've met. I've met plenty of other women. She's certainly not the first woman I've dated, and certainly not the first woman I've had sex with. But I will...
Damn! Okay, now we have to reveal. This was like a theory that Ethan Klein had at some point. Okay, so maybe this is not true. He could be lying as well, but let's just take his word for it. Maybe he had like a couple of like short-time girlfriends beforehand. But I mean, this is probably like his first real love in his life. I think that's pretty clear. And he certainly had this like incel rage, which was fueling his early like edginess, I would say. I think that's pretty clear. Even if he had dated like a couple of girls before Aneesa, it was just it's still like a big change for him. I think it's a change for his personal life for the better, I would say. For his personal life, it's probably for the better. But I think maybe this would have even been happening without Aneesa. But he just became such a weak and annoying, lame, uncharismatic, and unfunny person. That's basically all that it is. And I don't know how much she has like a stake in it. I think there is definitely some participation, but I don't know, it might just for the most part be himself. Okay, so the last name section I will actually skip, because I personally think it's fine that he adapted her last name. I don't think that's like an issue. I understand why people make fun about it, and also like it's kind of funny that people say Ian and Aneesa Jomha. It's just kind of funny, but on like the surface, that's all.
When my rancid boxing coach and his wife decided to go on the H3 podcast as like this mutual exchange of talking shit about Aneesa and I in exchange for $5,000, that was sort of under the premise that I owed them some sort of bonus money.
Yeah, I mean, like, we were also promised a bonus on CC1, and we never got it. But because Michael is so nice, he didn't want to, like, make Ian feel uncomfortable and ask Ian and Aneesa about it.
And I was always under the assumption that there was no bonus, because even though he told me there was a bonus, He then disappeared for 6 months and I never saw him.
There was never a bonus. I never spoke to these losers about a bonus. I was paying these people an hourly rate to do the job that I asked for them to do, and they're lying to the audience.
How is it that we put on this great event?
I'd been consistently paying you day after day for all the work you were doing. So if I never missed a payment for you and your wife, and a bonus was promised at some point, then don't you think it would be pretty fucking obvious and apparent that you should text me, hey, what about that bonus? Of course, but there was no bonus, because you're fucking lying. Like, fuck these crooked people. Now, to the crew of the H3 podcast, I have something important to say. I think you are all pieces of shit. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for this episode of idubbbz Complains. If you want to hear me complaining live in your ears, go and check out my Twitch live stream. I'll put a link in the description.
Oh, come on. Let's not do that. But I think I at least appreciate that he said, fuck all y'all. These people are losers, and then the crew, like, I hate you guys all. Like, at least there's not like some, like, nobody has to, like, feign any sympathy. Nobody has to say, oh, maybe we still like him. Like, everybody can just say, okay, fuck this guy. Fuck these people. You don't have to be a hypocrite at this point. Like, everybody can just say, okay, bridges burned, and that's all. Okay. Okay, so I think, let me just say, like, besides some of the, like, atrocious parts of this video, especially, like, whining about the commentary community, I would say the last part, I think it's fair, at least. I think it's fine to say, fuck all of these people, I paid them, like, why are they complaining? That is alright for me, and just saying fuck you to the Ethan crew, I think is also fine. It's just, I think he's just not addressing a large part of that conversation, like him barely training, like just eating like bullshit, eating fast food, just completely like fucking this whole event up. I mean, he can just claim, yo, this is my prerogative. I can just do whatever I want, right? I can make a boxing event and I can just not train properly. Like, he can say that, but I mean, this is kind of why this guy was mad, because he was training him for all this time and he didn't even put in any work. I mean, yeah, he got paid for it, so it's still like fine. I think it's not like, I think it's fine that both parties are telling their own story about it. I think it's also fine that idubbbz is now trying to portray this in a different light. Also, he never addressed this point with the wife of this guy Michael being like a marriage slave, and this whole thing never coming up. I think he fainted supporting it or something. I think there was like something to be said about that. He just didn't talk about it at all. I mean, he could have at least dismissed it or something, but he just didn't comment on it. I think this is kind of like him just picking what he can refute and what not, which is like a regular thing online, but you can kind of feel that he's not talking about everything in that conversation. But my main problem is that this act at the end of saying like, you guys are losers and I hate the H3 podcast crew, it's very tough to actually buy this, because he's otherwise such a whiny bitch. Yeah, I think that's it. Joe out.